Hi everyone, I'm Sarah, Childhood Finds, and thank you for joining me for my weekly What Sold video. I am working on a research video. I'm hoping to have that out Thursday or Friday this week. And today I have quite a few good sales for you. I have some big money ones and a variety of stuff as usual, and definitely some more things that you can be on the lookout for if you're a reseller. I will say that it was definitely paid to be an everything seller this week because I have a pretty good variety. The other thing I'd like to ask, as I always do on my videos, is please share with me in the comments what your favorite sale of the week is or what your favorite item you found is. And as always, doesn't need to be the most valuable item, just something to share. And we're gonna go ahead and get right into the sales. I am much happier this week than last week. It is not quite as embarrassing to share these what solds with you. So let's get into it. This first one we're starting with is a toner cartridge. So I've always known that toner cartridges and ink can be valuable, but I just never really find them or see them out in the wild when I'm sourcing. But I've managed to find two pretty valuable ones in the last couple weeks. This one I just picked up at an estate sale, and it's a Canon E40 cartridge. Not all cartridges and ink is valuable, but when you see name brands, it definitely should lead you to think about looking a little closer at it and checking the value. This one, all I did was scan the barcode, and this one sold for $60 in less than a week, and I paid about $2 at that estate sale for it. This I also just picked up at an estate sale a couple weeks ago, and this is a Christian prayer, The Liturgy of the Hours, 1976, Catholic Book Publishing Company. It sold for $19. I paid $1.50 at the estate sale. I always pick these kind of books up because they tend to sell. They tend to sell pretty well for me. Here's just one more religious book that I picked up at an estate sale for $1, and it's an ESV Study Bible Personal Size True Tone Burgundy Imitation Leather 2016. I took a best offer of $24 on this one, and I actually just found the same exact one at Goodwill last week, so it was fun to be able to just hit sell similar on my listing and just add new photos. So that was nice to be able to do. This one I picked up at a Goodwill. It's just really fun. I paid $5 for it, and it's Popeye the Sailor Man 14-inch plush golf club head cover. And I've talked about head covers quite often, guys. I've sold a lot of them, and this one here sold for $38.95, the full asking price. He was just so fun. I mean, just so fun. But I always take a second look at these character ones for head covers, and also animals. I found collie dogs, lions, all sorts of different things. It's always worth a second look, and honestly, if they're $1 or less, I'm always gonna pick them up anyway. You can also put hand puppet in the titles. I just tend to not have room for it, so I just go with head cover. These aren't super valuable, but I got this for free at an estate sale along with a bunch of other Chilton manuals. And so this is a Chilton repair manual, 7307 Buick Century Regal is a rear wheel drive. I sounded fancy. And it sold for a best offer of $10. I got it for free. The numbers, you can usually see it says a part number, like right there where it says 7307. That's a way to help you look up your manuals. Again, these aren't huge money, guys, but I got them for free. I'm gonna sell them for $10. It's an easy sale, and I've sold most of the ones I've listed, so they're pretty quick movers as long as you price them well. These I just picked up at an estate sale this last week, and I was surprised by them. These were in a pile under a table. No one wanted to touch them, and this is a Thomas Guide Street Guide and Directory, 1991 San Francisco, and I sold the next 3 of these, so this one and the next 2 were all to the same exact buyer within a day of listing. They sold so fast. I think what definitely plays to helping these sales was the area that it's going over. San Francisco was all the 3 ones that just sold. I think that definitely played to the value. Also, these are still useful. I also think people might use these for junk journals. They can use them if they're interested in history and how things have changed. San Francisco in 1991 is going to be a lot different than San Francisco 2024. So there are definitely still uses, and plus GPS doesn't always work so on our phones, so it's nice to have a map. They're still useful, but I know a lot of people just thought they were worthless at the sale. Even the person running it thought they were 100% worthless. She charged me $3 for 15 of them. So I have about 20 cents into this. This one sold for $24.95. Let me show you the other two that sold to the same buyer. And this one's a Thomas Guide Street Guide and Directory 1998, San Francisco. Same thing, San Francisco, sold for $24.95. And then one more San Francisco, and this one was from 1985, and it sold for $28.95. And it seemed like all these Thomas Guides seemed to have some decent value when I was looking into them. The only one I picked up that really just wasn't totally worth it, I think my least valuable one was from 2003, and it was worth like $11. So I'm going to definitely do some more research on these maps and atlases and keep an eye out for these, because this is I was really surprised by this. This was something fun to learn this last week. These I picked up in a yard sale for $1 each, and I decided just to lot them up together. And they're Nightmare Before Christmas, Sally and Jack Skellington Posable Disney Parks Plush. They sold for a best offer of $30 in a month or two. This I picked up at a yard sale for $1, and it's a 2004 Mickey Mouse 75th Anniversary Collector's Edition Monopoly. This one is still brand new and sealed. It sold for an offer of around $22-ish, and so I paid $1. I pick up board games. I know they're not huge return, and I know the shipping can be expensive, but I've done really well with board games, so I tend to still pick them up. Here's just a little more Fiestaware, because, flatware, you can't get tired of it with me on this channel. And this is Fiestaware Bright Purple Heather Flatware Silverware Dinner 5-piece lot set. This one sold for $28.95, the full asking price. And again, I have less than $1 into this lot. And just to go over one more time, what I did is all this Fiestaware came in, this is how they were sold, in packs of place settings by color. So that's just how I sold them, is I just lotted them up by the color and put them into place settings. So this is another way that you can sell flatware if you don't maybe have a whole bunch of it, or just other ways to look into it. Yes, there's always the 4 forks, 4 spoons, etc. But I also will do place settings on occasion. This one I picked up at a yard sale for $2, and it's a Dakin Goo Goo Gorilla Baby Monkey 1983 stuffed animal plush with a pacifier, and it's vintage and has the tag. It sold for the full asking of $18.95. I find these on occasion, and they always sell pretty fast, because this sold in a couple weeks. These I picked up in an estate sale. I believe I showed them in a haul video, and I paid about $1 a piece. They are, just a warning, they feel very cheap when you touch them, but you can tell of course by the look of what they are, but a lot of them also, as long as they still have the back that says a Cameo Creation. So these are Cameo Creations Velvet Victorian Lady Portrait frames, and I just lotted them up into 2, and this sold for $25, so 2 into $25. But look for these Cameo Creations. They're not huge money, but you might be able to get them cheap. This is my big sale of the week. These have taken about 8 to 10 months to sell. I got them in an online auction for $50, so I definitely paid up for them, but they were worth it. And these are Antique Ebonized Eastlake Frame Pair Sepia Tone Portrait Man-Wife Couple. And breed, I just talked about all sorts of different things about the frames and about the matting and etc. So I just talked about that in the description. I also put a disclaimer like I can't guarantee this is actually a couple, but they're probably a couple because they match. And these sold for $475 on a best offer. I had them pre-packaged, so it was really nice. I was just able to slap the label onto them. And the buyer has already left feedback, and they are very happy with them. I am so excited they found a good home. This is a beautiful pair. And so how I found the value of these, because these don't come up to market a lot, but what I did is I used my worth point for this. And you can also look in Terapeak. I do believe there's some in Terapeak as well on eBay. And I couldn't really find any that had sold a matching pair, but these typically sold from the $1 to $250 range singularly. So I did originally have $600 as my asking, but it's been about 10 months, and $475, I was happy with it. The buyer was really happy with it, and I was happy to let them go for that. So I probably, if I waited another year or two, I could have got closer to my asking. I think it was a very fair offer, because even if each sold for $200 separately, then you're adding a little bit extra for that matching pair price. So I am thrilled with this sale. $475. This was a personal CD, and it's a Good Old War self-titled album CD, signed. I was there when it got signed, so I know it was actually signed. It was at a concert. I think it was a Big and Rich concert. I can't remember what concert. It's been quite a while. It's been since 2010, and yeah, my brain can't remember that far back. So this sold for full asking of $14.95. This I picked up at an estate sale for $4, and it's an ornate brass metal easel stand tabletop picture plate holder display. I sold this for full asking price of $23.95. I tend to always pick up these brass easel ones, you know, not the really basic like plastic or wood ones, but these kind of more ornate decorative ones. I always sell them, and they always sell incredibly fast. I sold one that was brass but looked like bamboo for over $20. So these definitely really sell quite quickly. These ones people might not know about as being kind of valuable, not super valuable, but worth money. And these are KLM Airlines Blue Delft Amsterdam 1575 house. And let me show you, these are on KLM Airlines, so they hand these out. So these are filled with alcohol. So what you need to remember is these can get taken down. I always empty them, and I show the hole where I emptied them in photos, and I put empty in the title. Some people don't do that, and they'll say full or sealed. You are risking your listing getting taken down for that. I have personally never had a problem selling these because of the way I'm doing it, but you'll probably get a little more money if it was sealed and not empty, but I don't want to risk that. So let me show you what the back looks like. Here's where you can see the number 70 Bowls KLM. And I think we also have some more information on the bottom for it. And what I did, let me see if I can show you the wax seal where I showed, there it is. So all I did with this is I rammed a toothpick in there and then emptied it. And man, I had 4 of these I bought. The stench of alcohol was pungent in my sink getting these empty. But I have always done it this way, and it always seems to work for me. I paid 50 cents. I bought 4 of these at an estate sale for $2 total, and they tend to sell from 15 to 20 plus. You can also sell them in lots for better money, absolutely. I sold this one for $18, and then I also sold, not that one. We're gonna just pretend you didn't see that last one. And then I sold this one as well to the same exact buyer for $16, and it was number 71. So now that you see them, you'll definitely recognize them at sales. So 18 and 16 for both of those. And I just recently sold another one for 20. So they're definitely worth taking a look at for 15, or for me, I paid 50 cents. But again, put empty, you can see here, I put empty in the title. And again, I showed the stab hole. I emptied these. That's just how I protect my account, because I've heard of others having their listings taken down, and I, knock on wood, haven't had that problem yet. Now here's what I skipped. This we just picked up at a yard sale for $3, and it's a Remington Model 700 clip conversion kit. So this is when it pays to, I know some about firearms. I competed in competitions when I was younger with my family and all of that, but I also have a husband who is a gunsmith, so it pays to know this stuff. And this sold for $165 on a best offer, and it sold in like 2 days, if that. So really quick turnaround with this kind of stuff. When you can find this kind of stuff at sales, it sells really quick, but it is hard to find at sales. I mean, we don't find stuff very often. We just recently found some holsters, so I'll get those listed, but it is hard to find firearm stuff for an affordable price at a yard sale. But if you can, it's definitely worth it. This I just picked up at a yard sale for 50 cents, and it's a Starbucks Been There Series Collection Washington, D.C. mug. I could have waited and it would have sold for 17, but I just took a best offer for $14. I paid 50 cents. I am just all about trying to get things kind of moving, even if I take a tiny bit less than I typically would, or if I just take offers, even if it was just listed. It's worth just moving the inventory and getting my income in, because summer is definitely a time where sales are slower, and many people go through that. I am going through it myself. It was a good week, but last week was trash if you watched those videos. So it's definitely, I just take more offers, and I see it as all the work I'm putting into it this right now is going to pay off in fourth quarter, because my last fourth quarter, when I looked at the numbers, was probably 30 to 40% higher than all of my other quarters. So I made a lot more money in fourth quarter than others. So definitely worth just bulking up your store. So hopefully you can have a great fourth quarter. That is my goal. This one is an antique gold ornate wood frame Sacred Heart sepia tone Jesus lithograph. I just picked this up for $1.50 at an estate sale, and my mother-in-law helped me with this title. And this one sold for $30 full asking price. I picked this set up at a thrift store for $4. It was open, but I am about 99% sure it's complete in there, but I did make a claim in the description that I can't completely guarantee, but I showed pretty much everything that was included, so I feel good that it was complete, but I didn't want to claim that. And it's a Test of Honor Samurai Miniatures Ronin expansion set by Warlord Games. These miniature sets in like 40K, things like that, can sell for really great money depending on what you get. This one sold for $44.95, I believe, and I paid, I think I might have already said $4, but I know I paid $6 at the thrift store for this one. Here is one more map. I just wanted to show you another one that sold. I sold 5 of these within a week, guys, out of 15. That is a crazy sell-through rate for something I didn't think was very valuable either when I first started looking them up. And this is a Thomas Guide 1984 Santa Barbara, Ventura, San Luis Obispo counties. And this sold for $25. Again, it's a big area and a popular area, so I think that is what sold this. But I'm definitely going to keep looking for these and test that theory. This I picked up at a yard sale for $1. It was not in great condition once I got a better look at it, but we paid $1 and it sold for a best offer of $16. I'm fine with that. It's a beveled glass ormolu filigree jewelry casket, gold tone box, read as is. It was the lining on velvet lining on the bottom was dirty. It was bent. It didn't sit right. It wasn't in perfect condition, but I have sold these in bigger form. One that my mother-in-law found in a bigger form for over $100. So this style is absolutely desirable and valuable. So something to keep your eye out for. And this is just the last little tiny sale. This has probably been listed for 2 years. And it's a Masterworks fine pewter mermaid and dolphin figurine. I think we paid like 50 cents at a yard sale a couple years ago for it. It sold for $11. I'm fine with that. It was so tiny. I don't care if it took 2 years. So that is all I have to share with you this week. Thank you so much for joining me in this, and I will work on getting that research video out for you guys. My goal is a research video this week, and I will try, well, probably not next week because I'm going to be camping, but the week after that I will aim for another one so we can get more of those out for you guys. So thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next video.